who looks like who looks like Shadow. If we're being honest, Sonic looks like Shadow, and also runs really fast.
So you think they're related?
Boots. He has jet boots, to be clear.
You think just because they're two hedgehogs who run quick, they have to know each other, Scott? That's pretty
It's
presumptuous.
because Shadow's black. I'm sorry.
Yeah, how dare you? Him with his gold rings and his guns.
Well,
I can't believe
according to Sonic Adventure 2, all hedgehogs look alike.
Also true.
Including to Amy, who is also a hedgehog. Yes!
Yes!
We'll never stop.
This My Hero episode didn't have a ton of action in it, so we gotta fill up some time with some Sonic discussion, which we know is completely neutral and the internet has nothing to say about.
So, let's start with it then. Because I feel like, okay, so this episode starts out with, okay, do friends not ask, where are you going?
Yeah, I also thought that was really strange. It opens up with Deku, Kirishima, Tsuyu.
By the way, sorry, there's
sirens
going
outside.
on.
Yeah, you might hear some of that.
Yeah,
we're in a real villain emergency here, but we're here to give you the news.
Yeah, so nobody in the My Hero universe seems to be able to ask, hey, where are you heading? Because fucking Deku points out, like, wow, we sure are going in the same direction all the way till they get where they're trying to go.
And it's weird that our internships are having us go here without wearing our uniform or our costumes.
Civilian outfits.
That's strange.
Yeah,
You also got asked to do that? Huh, weird. Anyway, let's go to this train station we don't normally go to together. Wait, you're going to the same train as me too? Wow, these coincidences just keep adding up. I have no further questions.
I mean, look, it's a cute series of events, but they make no sense.
I mean, it's one of those things where, like, I feel like for the audience, it's kind of supposed to build tension, where we're like, well, what's going on? But in any logical situation, you would probably go, hey, I'm going to this place, and someone goes, that's funny, me too, weird, and then everyone's on the same page now.
Maybe they were told you are not allowed to tell anybody else where you're going.
Maybe, and you know what? That's fair. That's possible.
Yeah, I'd like
to
to
be a secret meetup.
That is what I'm going to assume is that they were literally told you were not allowed to tell anyone where we're meeting up. So that's what I'm going to assume.
So now we're going to tell you where they met up. So they went to this place.
Yes.
I don't know if they.
They went to an office building.
They went to a building, and then they went to a table inside that building.
Yeah.
Yes. And
around which they all sat.
And inside that building, there was a bunch of pro heroes and locals, including Gran Torino, Sir Night-Eye,
Eraser.
Eraser,
Yeah.
Eraserhead, Fat Gum.
Yeah, Fat Gum being Fat Gum.
Dragon Lady.
The big three.
Big three, yeah. Well, everyone who's interning for those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we get a bunch of kiddos and Froppy and Ochako with Kirishima and Deku.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of people there, including a dude named Rocklock. What does he do? What does he make? What is his deal? Nobody knows. He's the black superhero. That's the only thing.
He locks things down. Is my guess.
He's got a whole key thing going on.
Yeah,
and I actually don't remember what his power is from the manga. I was focused on whatever it's happening with Deku at the time.
I'm going to assume he's actually gonna he can unlock shit. I think that.
I'm fairly certain he will do something cool.
Yes.
I just don't remember what it is.
Other than just kind of have a really cool design. Because
I did like his design.
It's actually kind of reminiscent a little bit of Static Shock from.
Oh yeah, okay, I can get that.
There was a certain specific run of him that it's a very similar design, but yeah, no, it's actually. We get to meet a bunch. We don't get to meet a whole bunch of new people. Really,
we just get to see them.
Yeah, Rocklock is really the only new guy who talks and interacts with
excuse
anybody.
me, I think you're forgetting Centipeder, who got to speak.
Oh fuck! I forgot Centipeder. Oh my god!
My favorite new design of the day.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What the fuck?
Yeah, do you think that guy looked normal and then like at 6 his quirk like kicked in? He was the most handsome kid in kindergarten, and all of a sudden.
Yeah, I'm kind of assuming that he grew up
born as a larva.
I assume he grew up kind of looking like that. I pray, I hope, because
hey girls, you wanna hang out?
And here's the thing.
Does that guy go home to like a normal looking wife?
Oh my God! Someone called him the human centipede. Oh.
Oh, that's a different superhero.
It's actually 3 of them.
Yeah.
But so it's
like Voltron.
I love
Anyway, go on.
I love his voice. I love the way he talks. I love his design. Everything about Centipeder.
To be clear, you two watched the dub, right?
I did.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and I watched the sub. So just so we're clear on
Did they
who's
pitch him up
watching
in the
what.
Japanese version?
I don't remember this character. I apparently did not care about him.
The dude with the centipede head.
I vaguely remember that he existed. I didn't care about him though.
The guy who was like giving the breakdown for everything, going like, all right, well here's
I saw
the
he was
scoop."
there. I just didn't.
Apparently, he's fan made.
Really?
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He didn't make an impression on me.
I might have forgotten about him until he said something, but once I was reminded, it was.
once the vision was put back in your head, you knew.
I was just like, oh yeah, I guess there was a centipede guy. I wasn't paying much attention to him.
But yeah, so all the heroes meet up, and gee, this sure is weird. What are we all here to talk about? Ryukyu, the dragon lady, kind of looks over at Ochako and Froppy and goes like, well, I already kind of told you a little bit that there was a big case that a bunch of heroes were working on. I figured you'd be helpful for.
They're part of the big case.
Yeah. You're all part of this big investigation now,
Hey,
see? And we're
basically-
looking into the
basically you're-
Yakuza.
yeah. Basically, you're drafted into the pro world now.
Yeah. We saw you could fight, so we decided you would be good enough to come along, which
I mean,
Kirishima and
they did
Deku
something pretty big.
Kirishima and Deku, I absolutely get why they're there.
The beginning of the last episode, they did something pretty huge.
I mean, they did like help subdue a giant villain,
Like
which is a big deal.
Yeah.
But I feel like, so did Mount Lady and Tree Dude.
and they're pro heroes.
Yeah, but it's more like we have actual pros who likely have way more experience that we could probably call right now.
Yeah.
Two students who did something cool
But
once.
they actually explained that. All these people were from the areas that
That's
they wanted
right.
to control.
They did talk about that. Yeah, the guy,
wanted people
the
who were
giant
local.
was a bad drug quirk gone wrong kind of thing. So.
Yeah, and so they wanted people who were local to the area so they could scope it out.
Fair enough. I rescind my doubt on them. Unlike Rocklock, who seemed to be doubtful of everything and everyone throughout this whole meeting, and as you can probably see from what I just said, I didn't entirely disagree. I was like, this seems like some real big guns, some real big problems.
Why are we bringing a bunch of kids in here?
Yeah,
We haven't
why are we
explained everything.
Why are we bringing a bunch of kids who we also have to slow down this very urgent meeting to explain a lot of stuff everyone else in the room knows?
Specifically to Kirishima, he was the only one who didn't get it. Because it just didn't cross his naive little mind that anyone would hurt a little kid.
I love Kirishima so much, but yeah, the fact that it's like, oh my god, okay, let us break it down for you. They want to use her blood and make weapons.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a pretty dark realization. And the look on Deku and Midio's faces when they realize the depth.
That they absolutely let a girl go back into an abusive situation.
Which honestly, as we've already covered, that situation played out exactly as it should have.
There was nothing more they could do in that situation without dying.
Yeah, unless somehow they had come to the conclusion that she absolutely needed to be removed before they went into that alleyway, because it's possible they could have gotten away if they'd immediately just booked it. But that
might have technically been kidnapping.
Yes.
If they had done that.
Yeah, there was. And that was something that Night Eye himself says. Don't blame them. They did what they were supposed to do.
My only thought is I get that Overhaul is a scary ass dude, but I feel like everyone in the Hero Association or whatever is like, well, we can't touch him. We can't go after him. Well, I guess at that point he did not seem like he was doing anything actively illegal, so it would have been wrong to try and bring him in.
And tipping him off would have really thrown off the
investigation. But I guess my thought is Deku's still a kid, so he's maybe untested. But Mirio, everyone is touting he might be currently the best dude working. Mm-hmm. So if anyone could take on Overhaul one-on-one, I feel like he is the guy everyone would probably have put their money on. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's kind of strange in my mind that everyone's like, well, we can't. You guys would have died if you tried fighting him. It's like, how strong do we think this guy is? He definitely has a terrifying quirk, but
I mean, he's making the Yakuza important again after decades.
Yeah.
Yeah. The important thing to remember is that this guy.
He didn't kill someone just by touching them.
And
again, he has a terrifying power. I'm not saying that that isn't a problem.
So
it's just Mirio seems like he is.
His whole thing is not letting people touch him.
Yes.
Yeah. The other thing, one of the most important things to remember, though, is that besides the fact that, it's just one guy, he's also...
He does have, a criminal network backing him, and...
Yeah, and again, they're trying to figure, taking him in, yeah, sure, you cut off the head, but what does that do to the body? and that's important. They can't just take him out. Attacking him there would have, as they said, stoked a fire that they would not have been able to control. So
Especially after all the All Might stuff.
yeah, and Stain and
They took great pains to explain a lot of things, honestly.
No, yeah,
this is another setup episode.
Yeah, this episode was well, and to be fair though, I feel like this episode, like all of its setup and kind of dialogue heavy stuff, was at least interesting and felt like involved, and it was stuff I was invested in.
You,
So
like,
it was,
you know what it's building to.
yeah, and so this was a lot easier for me to stomach than some of the earlier episodes this season.
Yeah,
'Cause it just
it's
felt
more
like,
so saying, all right, here's the real shit we're getting into.
yeah,
now.
I feel like this was kind of the all right. We are now bringing the main dish out to your table. The table setting is done. This thing is about to go down. Because there isn't really a whole like I feel like they are getting ready to go.
yeah.
At this point.
At first, they set down the ingredients. Now they're telling you what they're cooking. Now they're putting that motherfucker in the oven, and that's the exciting part.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like they they make it clear by the end of the episode, like, all right, we're about to do the thing now. We're really gonna do a thing now.
I
Yeah.
hope you're ready.
Yep. Don't worry, it's gonna be a real show.
Which they're getting to it fast. So honestly, like, I feel like there's gonna be a whole second half of this season that's gonna be a lot of
I
other stuff from the manga.
yeah. I'm pretty sure, because there's a whole. We're in the first half of this arc. We're about to start the second actual half.
Already, yeah, and we're only like 6 episodes in, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's-
Oh god.
Yeah, it's about. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. They haven't exactly been shoving a whole ton of manga
No, yeah, it
chapters
doesn't
into
feel
each
rushed.
episode.
It doesn't feel rushed, but like it is like, oh wow, we're here already.
Yeah.
So Eraser brings up, I think, a very good point of just like, hey, Night-Eye, your power is to see in the future. Why don't you look into one of our futures and
Yeah.
tell us what's going to happen? And Night-Eye gives, and look, I get it's real traumatic. It's a real rough thing. With the stakes of everything going on, I still don't know if I really side with where Night-Eye's coming from on this. I get it would be horribly uncomfortable and terrifying.
Well, I think actually his thought is like almost a Schrodinger's cat sort of situation where as long as he's not observing the future, it's not fixed. If he
Okay.
observes a future where they die, that's fixed.
Then he can't change it. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Wording it that way makes a lot more sense because
Yeah.
to me, with how it sounded, he's like, I can't look into your future. I might see you die, and that's bad.
Yeah, well, yeah, and the whole he's like, if I see you die, that has never been that's never
that's
not
never not
happened.
happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And then like Rocklock brings in the point, like the counterpoint to that, which is just, look, if I die, I'm ready to live with like my limited time, knowing that if it gives us information to help us.
Yeah.
And like, so when I heard that, I was like, all right, that's how do you beat that? And then Night-Eye just kind of goes, I just can't. Like I don't want to bear that weight, and like
Yeah.
that's I
Yeah, well,
completely get.
Not only that, but like he specifically said, I need to make sure our chances are like 90-something%
Yeah.
Before I do this.
I look into someone's future. So he wants to make sure everything's set for them to succeed,
Okay.
so that when he observes the future, he does not see someone dying,
Okay.
and then therefore it is not a fixed point in time.
All right. I guess my thought was just like, man, take all these hints you can and look at this future. If maybe Rocklock's last words are, if we had just gone to warehouse B, everything would have been fine. Blah. Like,
Yeah.
then you know, hey, at least now we know.
Wow.
But yeah, like that's Night-Eye, the way Night-Eye sees the futures is always just like, no, that's what happens now.
Okay, that's fair.
It's
Yeah.
a.
It's like Doctor Who, when like I'd have to cite a specific thing, but in Doctor Who they have similar concepts where it's like if you observe something,
Then now it has to happen.
That happens now.
Yeah.
Like if you don't look, your future is endless.
Okay. All right. They didn't want to limit potentials.
Yeah.
I get that now. But yeah, and then that's I feel like that's kind of where the meeting adjourns. They sort of they break down which I guess we haven't specifically talked about it. They go into detail on the quirk destroying bullet. It's different than Eraser's power, where he just kind of like temporarily like inhibits it. This is actually breaking it down and kind of killing it from the inside.
Yeah.
So they're not sure exactly how this will really fan out for people.
But you can sleep it off.
Yeah, Sun Eater seems to have slept it off and be fine. So, but it could still be a very big problem if this is something that becomes regular.
Yeah, if they perfect it to where you just straight up lose your powers, then that's it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like when a series will like give you its premise and its key focus and then introduces something to put that in danger. Like there's nothing more important to a hero than their quirk. So the idea that the enemies have something to take away what is most important to these heroes is terrifying. It is a very, very scary weapon, because there is nothing worse than a hero being made human, especially in the middle of a case. Like,
in the midst of this big of stuff.
But like an additional thing is that not only do they have that thing that destroys a quirk, but also they have something that creates a better quirk for you. Accelerates your quirk somehow. So
they can be handing this off to villains to really skew the tables on that.
Yeah, and I guess then the question that they raise is just, well, what kind of quirk does this girl have to where she could do both of those things with the drugs made of people?
Also, I'm very what was I saying? Shoot, damn it! It was in my head, and then I saw Reservoir Dogs. I'm like, all right, there's a bunch of characters called the Reservoir Dogs. Damn it, I got distracted.
Yeah, that was the low-ranking villain team we saw got like fused into a truck, went overhauled, and ran into them, and then they seemed fine afterwards. But the kind of after the meeting sort of concludes, a lot of the UA students are all sitting kind of by themselves and sort of talking about how messed up this whole situation is and how probably not prepared they are.
And Deku and Miria are really, really, really upset.
They're taking it quite personally since they had their shot to maybe get Eri out of this situation.
And some of them specifically just like, I've never seen him like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A very different look. Like, please smile, Mirio. That's what you do.
Yeah.
And Eraser comes in, and with maybe my favorite scene of the episode, because this whole series, I feel like Aizawa is a cool dude, but also seems like this aloof teacher who doesn't really care and is just sort of like there for a paycheck to help these kids out. But in this moment, he's like, look, I wanted to suspend your internships before you got involved in this because I didn't want you getting anywhere near any of this stuff. And basically looks at Deku and goes, and I don't think I can trust you anymore. I can't tell you don't do this and expect you to not do it.
Yeah.
So now the best thing I can do is I can go with you and I can watch you. So keep yourself alive out there, problem child. And I was like, God, I love this. He's a teacher who actually really cares. He's been watching and everything, and he knows.
Yeah.
And he's a secretly good teacher.
A secret guardian.
Yeah.
No, he's a Night. I keep wanting to call him Night Eye.
No, it's the other guy.
Yeah, I know.
He's Eraserhead.
Yeah. Eraserhead is.
I always think it's just Eraser. I keep forgetting Eraserhead is the actual
It's his
name.
full name.
Yeah, usually they just go by Eraser.
Because his eye erases is just part of his head.
I see.
I remember what I was gonna say now. Tangentially, I'm still kind of sad that God, I almost said it again. Eraserhead. I'm kind of sad that his power doesn't work on Quirks like Invisigirl.
So because we can see what she looks like.
Well, because that's just her physiology.
Yeah, it would just be really funny, just for like her to finally like get up, look in the mirror, see herself, and freak out.
Oh God, I have a face. It's awful.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm ugly. Oh no. Oh God.
I've been hiding this for good reason.
Oh.
No, I was just thinking like the entire concept of having a face is just terrible to her.
I have teeth.
I don't know how you guys live with that. It sucks.
I like that his example basically was a little cartoon of the tail kid, and we see his tail wagging. He's like, now if I look at him, I don't like just delete his quirk. I just inhibit its uses, and just like the tail just kind of goes limp.
So like if people have a quirk that can manifest itself, with effort, you can stop that. But if it's something that happens to someone passively, you can't do anything about that. That's just how their body works.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, sorry, that was just one of the things that went through my mind, and I was kind of stuck on that for a minute. But yeah, no, the scene with Eraserhead and Deku is really important because it's a great acknowledgement of like, hey, you're definitely capable, but it's hard to trust you because you don't follow orders. But don't worry, I'll still be there because I care about you and you're a good kid. And that's good for Aizawa because throughout this entire series, the thing that I've noticed is that there's been no person harder on Deku than Aizawa.
Yeah.
Like, he is not...
Night-Eye might be a close second at this point, but he's
Night-Eye,
just not as
He's strict.
Yeah.
He's strict.
Yeah, he's incredibly strict, puts up with no shit, and it's for good reason.
Yeah.
It is actually very much for good reason, because Deku has made mistakes, and unfortunately,
And he's
let's
like,
be
yeah,
honest.
If you're gonna do this anyway, I may as well be around there to look after you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Though I don't want to look directly at you, because then I'd turn off your power, and that'd be bad.
and I was gonna say, unfortunately, Toshinori is just not very good at being strict.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, no.
He has a bigger heart than a head.
yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Aizawa's head is just a little bit bigger than his heart. And so, yeah, it's good that he has him there. Night Eye's just a dick. But Night Eye is also trying to accomplish something,
Well,
so...
but at the end of this episode, he did admit that Deku has this thing that he doesn't understand. That makes him like All Might.
He's got the crazy eyes!
Yeah, that same madness that All Might has, where he just can't stop saving people.
Oh, they describe it as madness in the dub?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, if you'll notice, at the very last scene with Deku, he looks a lot like Toshinori. Like, very specifically, there's a...
But not like when he makes the face, though.
No.
Yeah, he does not do the I'm here face.
Yeah, there's this look on his face that is, like, very classic Deku, too. Like, from the beginning of the manga. There's a look on his face that just really says something. And I like that.
We also get a little bit of Gran Torino basically going like, so, hey, like, or actually Night Eye going, so you sent Deku my way to try and get me to start talking to All Might again, didn't you? And he's like, well, yeah, I didn't think it could hurt. Yeah, you guys seem to have trouble communicating. Thought this might be a nice bridge.
He also apologized for getting the Deku mixed up in a bunch of gangster bullshit.
Yeah, which Kirishima was super impressed with. He's like, whoa, Deku knows that guy?
Deku knows some impressive people.
Yeah, Deku's got some big connections.
Yeah, I mean, because Kirishima doesn't know...
Yeah,
No,
Kirishima does not pay attention.
No one other than Bakugo knows at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Night Eye. And All Might.
And
all the teachers.
Aizawa. Yeah, and actually...
The entire
gosh,
teaching staff, I'm pretty sure knows.
do all the teaching...
The principal does at the very least.
Yeah, I don't know if they all know about Midoriya exactly.
They don't know
Yeah.
specifically about him. I think they... Yeah.
At
I'm
this
not
point,
sure.
I feel like Aizawa has to know.
I feel like... The thing I'm not sure about is I feel like him training with Gran Torino seemed like it was at least a little public. Like, I feel like people were aware of that, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, but like when it comes to Deku's specific, like how he got his powers, the principal knows,
Yeah.
Gran Torino knows, and Bakugo knows.
Yeah.
That's-
Gosh,
and-
I wish I could remember.
I think the principal and Recovery Girl know. I think All Might
Recovery
specifically
Girl,
said
the
that.
cop
Yeah,
friend,
Recovery Girl
Deku,
knows.
and Bakugo. Okay, so yeah, Aizawa doesn't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Aizawa knows.
Yeah, okay, that's... Oh, man. Like, when you
I mean,
remember
probably
that...
wouldn't he might have figured it out on his own and doesn't talk about it.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
if someone told him, I'm sure he'd be like, yeah, I know.
Because, like, I think the closest he might have gotten to being told is All Might when he was like, let me talk to Dekugo and Bakugo after they fought.
Dekugo.
And
That's a ship.
and Aizawa just kind of went like, why? And he's like, because it's kind of my fault they did this.
Deku's mom does know. Someone mentioned in the chat. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But
Wait,
The web of people who know slightly grows.
does she know?
Yeah, didn't he go to their
she at
house?
least knows that he's mentoring him. I don't think she
Yeah.
knows how Deku
Okay, yeah,
got his power.
she might not
She-
know specifics of power transfer.
Yeah.
I think
so
she-
even she doesn't know.
I think she has inferred it. I think she's...
Maybe.
I don't think it's ever been said, but I think she kind of, on a certain level, knows.
I think the extent she knows is All Might going, I want Deku to be my replacement, and I am training him for that.
Yeah, I
Maybe not so much, I gave him my power, and eventually
Yeah.
it will
Most
all
people
be
probably
his.
wouldn't assume that anyone could give someone their
Yeah.
power.
Yeah, so yeah, nobody knows except for like 5 fucking people.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, Mirio doesn't know.
No,
nobody
yeah, he doesn't
nobody
know.
else knows. So that's... And of course, that's all for the best, because imagine a scenario, if you would, where it gets out that power can be transferred.
Yeah. And then everyone's trying to eat his hair.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Even if they knew that he had to willingly give it, yeah, think of the scenarios that could put Deku in. And I don't mean like funny haha scenarios. I mean strap him down to a table sort of scenario.
Cannibal scenario. Well, this is real crass, but what if someone swallowed?
Oh no,
Would they get the powers?
I mean, was he willingly giving it? The power, I mean.
Yeah, no. 15 years from now, he's telling Ochako take it, and the next thing you know, oh boy.
Wow, a new symbol of peace with gravity powers? But took me off my train of thought. I felt like I was going somewhere, and now.
Sorry.
Oh yeah. Speaking of crass and maybe creepy, did anyone else feel real uncomfortable when Fat Gum sees there's high schoolers around and offers them candy?
See, he thought that was kind of weird too.
Okay. I think it's very weird from an American. Oh, actually, no. Actually, now that I remember, fucking Erased. It's not that weird in Japan, but for him, it makes sense.
No, yeah. It's like I completely get it's totally in line with his character, what he's doing.
And I don't know if there's any delivery in the dub that made it seem weird, but in the
maybe
a little bit.
Yeah, that might have been part
Who
of
wants
it.
candy?
yeah, in the sub version, it's just sort of like oh man, he's cute. He's like, hey, here, have some candy, and it's like, cool. He's like a Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the dub, they're just like, wow, he's like so cute looking or something. He goes like, hey, here's some, like, who wants candy? Here's some candy. Like, just like, I'm gonna give it to you.
Yeah, and I think in the dub it's more implied, just like, he's like, yeah, oh, hey, here, have some candy.
Yeah.
Like,
And
we're all having fun here.
And that's fine by me because
I'm pretty sure he just has it.
yeah. He's Fat Gum
And then
is
he crushes
obviously
it before he gives it to anyone, the jerk.
Fat Gum in this scene establishes, like, you can tell by the way that he responds and the way he acts. He talks about criminals, but when he talks about someone hurting a kid, he gets fucking pissed.
Yeah.
The look on his face is so good. Because, yeah, he's like
He's
I said,
friends to all the children like Godzilla.
Yes, he feels very much like a Santa Claus type person. Like, I want kids to be safe and happy, and anyone who could dare hurt a child, I'll break them in two.
I think the turtle's friends to all the children. But,
yes, that's Gamera.
but
Mothra.
Is Mothra friend to all the children? Who's friend to all the children?
which kaiju's
Mothra's
friends
the one
to all the children?
Mothra's the one you had to sing to wake up, like with two kids, I thought. I don't know. I haven't watched very many Godzilla movies.
Tune in
I
at
watched
7
the
p.m. for the Kaiju Power Hour. We'll be talking about all of our favorite kaiju and what they mean to both Japan and
No,
the
that's
world.
gonna be Nuzlocke time. You can do it later.
I bet. Yeah, the kaiju.
mini
the
kaiju.
Yeah, Kaiju Power
They're
Hour.
pocket kaiju.
Pocket kaiju.
It's called Dynamax, sir.
Oh my god, yeah, I forgot. No, you can actually make them kaiju now. That's fun. I just started playing that game, by the way, and they're all like, Dynamaxing. Have you heard about Dynamaxing? Dynamaxing the future of Pokemon!
I mean, it's the only thing the Galar region's got to talk about right now.
Then again, I will say this. Fucking Mega Evolutions were the exact same thing in that generation, and...
I will say Mega Evolutions at least came with a cool new design.
Gigantamaxes are new
Gigantamaxing
designs.
have new designs.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize there was a second level of Dynamax.
Yeah, no, there's the Dynamax and there's...
Only a few certain Pokemon get that, though.
I was like Gigantamax? I don't know. Gigantamax.
Anyway, completely off topic.
I mean, we talked about most of the episode.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that really needs to be.
I mean, we have a scene.
Touched on.
The very last scene is of a guy trying to trying to be friends with Eddie, and her being like now I know what real kindness is. Some guy was actually nice to me, and I know what that is now.
Yeah, and she's just kind of tearing up, being like, "No one's ever
Actually been nice.
cared."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was horrifying to think about.
It's sad, yeah.
But I did like, I don't know if the sub used this, but I really liked the dub line when they kind of flash back to Overhaul giving the job to this guy. He's like, come on, be someone she can trust. Be nice. Get on her good side. Use the carrot, not the stick. And I was like, that's a real good turn of phrase for what he's looking for right now.
Yeah. Sub actually also said carrot, not stick.
Okay.
But yeah, like the guy's being nice, but like she can tell it's not genuine.
Yeah.
I mean, even the way he pats her, which I apologize for this, but he goes like, as opposed to like the nice gentle hand of someone who's actually trying to comfort her.
Yeah, because
I know how to be good to kids.
Blown
up.
He even says, like, I don't know about kids. I hang out with gangsters all day long. God damn it. Maybe if I offered her a smoke.
He does say he wants to give her a magical girl doll, and I just like that was his very specific.
You want a Barbie?
Do you like Pretty Cure?
This is the closest I can get to relating to you.
What's
child.
your favorite My Little Pony? Mine's Rarity.
Mine's the dragon.
What's his name? Spork?
Something like that. But yeah, that's basically it, and kind of gears up. If you're the kind of person who hates the post credits, here's the preview thing. The episode does seem like it might maybe not have much action yet. It looks like it's a lot of everybody stewing about all the news they've gotten for a little bit, and then at the very end, at the very end of the preview, Deku goes, and then we finally get to suit up and we're ready to go. So that's making me bet that the next episode might end with them suiting up and then end.
It might, but if it, and I would assume that right off the bat if it wasn't My Hero, and they might actually not do that.
Yeah, it's very possible, but with the way the preview was, it was like there was a lot of, I'm so worried, everything's going to go, blah, 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 and like it's a long, like, everyone's got a lot to think about, and we're all worried, and we're battening down the hatches and getting ready for the real climax.
It'd be real crazy though if that was just like there's a few shots everyone looking worried, but then it's like
The
all
rest
right,
of the episode
before the
is just
credits start,
shit popping
they're already
off.
going.
No, I'd be
Yeah,
into
just
that.
door flies open. We're going.
Oh no, Overhaul figured out where we are and has brought this to us. The fight is now.
Explosion.
But yeah, there's like nothing really with like we don't see Shigaraki interacting with them or anything this episode. None of that's going on. Like I think this is just about it. I don't think nothing's coming to mind that I can think of.
Like, there's not a whole lot to discuss. Like,
Yeah,
I think we got through it.
This is definitely a light episode. Like probably the lightest of the season so far.
Now, you're forgetting the first episode.
Am I?
Also, the topics discussed are pretty heavy, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's things to talk about for this one. Like it's important stuff. It's not the filler.
All I know is I just want a whole series about Centipeder. Tell me what that dude's day-to-day life is and how useful his power is in emergency situations.
What is his power besides being a centipede?
Being centipede?
Like, can he do something else? Can he spit acid?
I want to
Do
know.
centipedes do that?
See, this is why I got excited about My Hero Academia Vigilante, and then I stopped being excited about My Hero.
Oh, really?
Academia
I feel like
Vigilante.
I've heard like pretty unanimous praise about it.
I don't know. For me, initially I was sort of excited, but it kind of lost me after a little while, where it just kind of being the same. I don't know.
Tyler looked like he had something to say.
Can you imagine on your 4th birthday waking up and you're just a centipede?
Oh yeah, no. I like to think that it was purity. I like to think
Or
where.
just waking up and you're invisible?
So yeah, puberty's just the fly.
You wake up with two things.
Sometimes
One of them is natural. The other one isn't.
you might
I
be
mean,
finding hair in
technically, yes, it
unexpected
is.
places. A little bit, you're noticing the opposite gender a little bit more. Maybe you've got mandibles.
Like, oh, what is going on? Oh,
Maybe your bones are growing out.
Yeah.
oh, they're on the outside of your
You have
body
a
now.
skeleton on the outside now, and you've got 98 more legs.
It's like the Santa Claus, but you're becoming a centipede.
Oh God. Also, Aizawa apparently got backstory in Vigilante, so I will read that specifically for that because I'm curious about Aizawa because he's
No,
cool.
yeah, he. I'd like to see what turned him into the kind of more grizzled. I'm here and everything's gonna be dangerous and you're all gonna die if you're not careful, dude. Because I have a feeling there's some hurt in that background.
Yeah, I mean everything about him makes him look like he has seen some shit.
He sleeps in a sleeping bag all the time.
Yeah.
Does he have a home?
The homeless hero, Eraserhead.
Oh,
He
no.
just sleeps in class.
You know, when you're the teacher, that's the only time you can get away with it.
It's that's very Japanese too. Like honestly,
He
sleeping
doesn't
at
have a
work
home
'cause
to
he
go
doesn't-
to.
No, I was gonna say sleeping at work because he doesn't have the time, or like maybe he's got all of this fucking paperwork. Maybe he's doing like 3 people's jobs at
I
that
can't
fucking
bring this work
school.
home. Maybe he's a family man and he just can't bring his hero life back there.
Oh my god,
That'd be
That would be
great.
really
That'd be
funny.
amazing.
I want Aizawa to have a wife and a kid. That would be so good. Also, really sad, actually.
You can't look at them; he might turn off their quirks.
My quirk is that I exist.
Oh no! My son!
Why did I look at my son?
That
Luckily, we do know he can control that. It is not like anyone he looks at, their powers turn off, and it does seem to be an active use.
Hey, you want to know, like, one of the darkest things to ever happen in a superhero comic? So, this guy can multiply himself.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe this is how it goes. One of his clones ends up taking over his life.
Isn't this what happened to Twice?
Kind of. Hold on. Ends up taking over his life. Yeah, multiple man. And I'm probably going to get something wrong here, so I'm not going to pay
Save
too
your
much attention
corrections
to chat
for the
because the purpose of this has nothing to do with the entire setup. It's really just the ending. So he has a clone, and the clone ends up taking over his life and ends up getting with a girl that he likes. They start a life together.
This is an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, but continue.
And they have a baby.
The truest of lies.
In the comic, you don't know what's happening. You don't know that this is one of his clones. And this goes on for chapters.
It's like
for
the
chapters
Prestige.
and chapters. So they have a baby. And then something happens that the clone ends up disappearing. And so does the baby.
Oh, no.
And it is one of the darkest. Like it plays out exactly in the darkest way you could possibly imagine it.
Does
without
half a baby show up?
No,
like
just the
holding the
baby.
baby.
The baby starts disappearing in her hands because she
Oh.
realizes as
I don't
it's
feel
happening.
so good, Mr. Stark.
Yeah, as it's happening, she realizes, and it's like, oh god.
I feel like me and
Yeah, someone has the thought I had, which wouldn't it be half the baby?
yeah,
That would also be pretty funny.
Oh no! Now it's
Ooh.
just a pile of.
Ooh. But the baby does look a lot
Matter.
more like me. I feel like me and Kieran had this discussion once with what would happen if a shadow clone did
Right.
such a thing.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. That's right. He absorbs his clones back when he touches them.
Oh, so he actually. it's when he touches
the clone
baby.
had sex with her, then disappeared, but the clone still existed. So after she has the baby, he picks him up. and-
Oh, my son.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now I am my son.
Yeah. And then he has to live.
Eternal youth.
And then he has to live with the fact that he killed their baby.
Whoops.
Yeah, that was it. I was wondering. Thank you. That was how that happened.
That was the missing bit of fucked upness.
Yeah, that was what made it truly awful.
Wow.
Yeah.
But people were saying that Aizawa's just a cat person, like just a bunch of cats.
Oh, like a human made of cats?
No, like he has a lot of cats
Oh.
in his home, which makes a lot of sense.
Okay,
actually.
yes.
Now I'm
He
just
is a
imagining-
human cat.
I'm sorry, but now I'm just imagining all the cats picking him up and then just walking him out the door.
Take me, my steeds.
I love thinking about like the dark implications of like multiple people and like clones and whatnot, because yeah.
The horrors that might arise from their powers in a more practical universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, what happens like when one of them dies and then you absorb, them back into yourself? Do you remember what it feels like to die?
Actually, there was a character. It was another character who could multiply himself, and he's talked about that. He's like, yeah, no, if one of my clones dies, it is the worst fucking thing.
In Naruto, they specifically use shadow clones in order to get information, which means they remember everything the clone does. So if the clone dies, they know what it feels like to die.
Fortunately, the clone seems to die kind of on impact and instantly,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it might never actually feel
It's one of those things
pain.
where even if you just so much as jostle a clone, they'll disappear.
Yeah, that might be part of like mastering the shadow clone technique is making your clones not durable on
Yeah.
purpose.
Yeah, that's actually sort of a good point. Fucking, how many times has Naruto died?
Yeah, no, we've
lot.
We've seen
Yeah.
his clones get impaled, cut in half, like all kinds of stuff has happened to those things.
Yeah.
And then they turn into logs half the time. Sometimes it's just gone, and now he's gained info.
What would have happened if Naruto actually sends a lot of shadow clones to do family stuff as a Boruto? What would happen if he had?
No, I thought about this. Just
Yeah.
just puff. Oh no, my son's gone.
I have to make that video. I have to make that video. Oh my god.
Whoops. Sorry, Boruto. I guess you were gonna find out
I
sooner
should
or
have
later.
been more attentive. This wouldn't have happened.
I really thought you were, from Naruto Prime. Turns out.
He really is a Naruto clone.
Whoops.
Oh, or just go real dark and go back to that original premise. Half of them, poof, just bloody. Other half of Boruto falls over.
The eyes stay. That's the only
Oh.
part that's like
Oh no.
And then the Hyuga clan comes in and scoops them up, and they're like, perfect.
Can't let
perfect,
other
perfect.
people
We
have
need these.
these.
We need these. Get out
Oh
of here.
god. Sorry, just the image of the Hyuga clan.
Nothing to see here. Just
to me, like I can't get over the image of just like the eyes stay there for a split second before, like kind of like Look Who's Talking Now, starring the dogs talking. There's a dream sequence where They make the lady disappear, and her breast implants remain somehow and plop on the ground.
I remember that now.
Yeah, Look Who's Talking Now is the Christmas one with talking dogs.
Huh.
Bruce Willis doesn't voice in that one.
I forgot Bruce Willis voiced in them at all.
He voiced the original baby in the Look Who's Talking series.
Who's the girl baby in
Roseanne Barr.
That was Roseanne Barr. Oh my god.
That's why you hate that baby.
I didn't. Hey, I didn't hate Roseanne Barr back when Roseanne Barr wasn't nuts.
She was secretly always nuts.
Yeah,
That's
you
how it
know
works.
what? You know what? She might have been secretly always nuts. That's true. That's fair. But yeah, so we're done. We're good.
I was gonna say. I think
we have gone on to talking
we've
about
reached
Look
as
Who's
far
Talking.
away as we can from My Hero
I've heard
Academia
the
at this
Connors
point.
is good, so
Yeah, hey, good on you, Connors. I love John Gibbon.
now that Roseanne Barr's character is dead, the show's good.
So anyway, and I hope you enjoyed. I hope you had a good time. Tune in to next week where we'll be covering the next episode. Hopefully the actual stuff will start. The episode is called Go. So I'm only going to expect that they are
A long game of Go.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
yes.
they're all going to sit down and strategize for a minute and be like, all right, here's an illustration of how we're going into the compound.
Izuku no Go.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time. Adios, everybody.
Yeah.
Goodbye!
So they killed off Roseanne Barr by having her overdose on opioids.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, that's actually what they did.
Oh my god.
Yeah, for real.
I had no idea, because I actually had no idea how they were going to get her out of the series, because
Yeah, they just killed her off by having her overdose on opioids.
that's great.